All right. Hello, hello, hello. My name's Andrea, or Drea for short. Today is Saturday, February 27th, 2021, and this is episode 11 of the Drea's Hook podcast. If you're joining me live here, thank you so much. And if you're watching this later, thank you to you as well. So as always, we have a lot to talk about, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. Always at the beginning, I like to remind y'all that if you like the podcast and you like the rest of the videos on my channel, be sure to subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. And today is very special because this past Wednesday or Thursday, I think it was Wednesday, I hit 100 subscribers on this channel. So I just want to thank y'all so much for your support. That is a huge milestone that I never thought that I was going to reach. So I just want to thank y'all so much for subscribing to my channel and engaging with my content. So towards the end of the podcast, I will be announcing a giveaway to show my appreciation. So make sure you stay tuned to find out how you can enter that giveaway. I think y'all are going to like it. And then another thing, if you're here joining me live on YouTube and you'd like to chat and let me know that you're here, definitely be sure to use the little chat box that I think is to the right of the video. What makes these podcasts fun is being able to talk with y'all in real time. So if you'd like to say hello, definitely be sure to do that. All right. Hey, Lauren, how are you doing today? Thanks for coming. All right. So hey, good morning, the Crafty Nomad. How are you doing? I guess it's not morning here. It is 1 p.m. here, but I know it's morning for some people. All right, so now that we've got all of the businessy administrative stuff out of the way, we can go ahead and get into the yarny stuff. So first, we're starting with finished objects. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to talk about these today because I'm not supposed to have half of these anymore. But we do what we can. Let me get these arranged. These are the Brick Road Coasters by Nomad Stitches. And the yarn that I used was Lion Brand Comfy Cotton and Whipped Cream and Knit Picks or We Crochet Comfy Worsted and Whisker. So I talked about these a little bit last time. This coaster, you'll see it's a little bit larger than the rest of them. This was the first one that I made. I figured out that I wanted the coasters to be a little bit denser. So I decided to go down a hook size. And so that's why these 3 coasters are smaller. And these are mosaic crochet, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. Mosaic crochet is a colorwork technique, and it's something that I've been wanting to learn for a while. And so I was really happy that I finally had the opportunity to do that. So 2 of these coasters will be going to my mom as part of her birthday gift. Her birthday was on January 30th. Today's February 27th. So we don't have to talk about that. But yeah, 2 of these are going to my mom and 2 of these I am keeping for myself because I needed some more coasters anyway. So yeah, I had set out to make 4 coasters, 2 for myself and 2 for my mom, and we have 4. And so that is why these are in the finished object pile now. And I really had a lot of fun working these up. Mosaic crochet can be challenging, but I think once you get the hang of it, it's very intuitive. So I'm really excited to do more mosaic crochet projects in the future. So yeah, these are the Brick Road Coasters. Yep, morning in SoCal. Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I guess the West Coast is 2 hours behind me. I'm in the Central Time Zone, so yeah, that makes sense. So it's 11 there. Doing well, taking a slow morning and working on a test pattern. Awesome, awesome. I love like lazy weekend mornings. That is so much fun. I'm glad that you have the opportunity to do that. All right, so now we are moving into our whips. First whip that I want to talk about is my temperature blanket. And once again, I'm going to have a really hard time trying to get this entire thing on frame. So just bear with me because it's about 5 feet across. but that's not too bad. This is my temperature blanket so far. So disclaimer, I am very far behind on this, almost 3 weeks behind. I'll talk about that a little bit more later. Good morning, still in my pajamas. Honestly, Red, if I wasn't doing this podcast, I would still be in my pajamas too. So I totally feel that. All right, so my temperature blanket, I am using We Crochet or Knit Picks Brava worsted yarn. It's a worsted weight, 100% acrylic yarn. I went over all of the colors and what temperature ranges they represent in episode 10 of the podcast. So if you're curious about that, definitely be sure to check that out. For the sake of time, I'm not going to go through the colors every single time. But this blanket is completed through February 9th, and today is February 27th. Oh, wow. The temperature blanket has so much progress on it. It looks great. Thank you, Lauren. Yeah, I'm really excited that I'm pretty far into the third row now. And like I said, I'm still behind. So I really love how it's starting to come together. It's really starting to feel more like a blanket, because I think on the last podcast, we only had just like barely started the second row. So it was very much still just like a long strip. But this has a little bit more heft to it, and it's really starting to feel more like a blanket. So just a quick recap of like how the blanket is laid out. I'm doing a solid granny square motif, except the third round is single crochet instead of double crochet. So the first round represents the low temperature for the day. The second round represents the high temperature for the day. And then the third round represents if it rained or not, and if it was a special occasion or not. So I've been using a spreadsheet to track my temperatures because I fall behind quite frequently. I think I've only been completely caught up on this blanket like once or twice the entire year. It can be a little difficult to keep up with daily things like this, but I'm trying my best. So yeah, I am pretty far behind, like I said, for a number of reasons. I was already behind, but then last week, I live in Texas, and I'm sure y'all heard about the big winter storm that we had where millions of people lost power and water, etc. So I was one of those people. So I wasn't working on it that week to begin with. And that, I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but that entire week and that event was, very scary and very anxiety inducing. And since it was so cold, I knew that the squares that corresponded to those days on the temperature blanket would be very distinctive, because my lowest temperature in yarn, I have an entire color for 39 degrees Fahrenheit and lower. So anything that's below 39 degrees Fahrenheit is going to be this purple color right here. So there are like 4 or 5 days in a row where both the low temperature and the high temperature are below that 39 degrees Fahrenheit threshold. So those squares would be completely purple, except for the third round. And so because of everything that happened, I just haven't really felt up to making those squares yet, just because I do know that it's going to be a reminder of what happened. And I'm just not quite ready to deal with that yet. I am starting to feel a little better, so I think I'll be able to restart on my temperature blanket soon. But that is part of the reason why I have fallen so far behind. So we will catch up eventually. The temperature blanket will get done eventually. I'm not worried about it. These motifs work up very quickly, so I should be able to catch up pretty quickly. But sometimes you just kind of have to put certain whips and time out due to other things that are happening in your life. So that is the story behind the temperature blanket. Hopefully the next time we have a podcast, I will have made a little bit more progress on it. But again, I'm not going to rush myself. I'm just going to kind of take it slow and, and do what I feel like. So that is the temperature blanket. All right. I'm trying to be more organized with my whips here because I kind of have a tendency to just throw things off to the side. Alrighty, so my next whip, which has been a perpetual whip, it seems like, is my sound wave shawl. So let's get this in frame. Oops. Hot mess over here. So this is my sound wave shawl by Stephanie Aaron. The main color that I'm using is LaRue Cotton Tinsel Fingering in the colorway After the Rain. And then the mohair stripes are Sorella Yarn Mohair in the colorway Voyager. All right, so I've been saying this for months, but I'm almost done. I'm currently on row 40 of 44. Which is a mohair row. So let me see if I can show y'all. This is row 40 that I'm working on right now, and it's mohair. So this whip is also kind of in unofficial timeout because my mohair has gotten tangled. And if you know anything about mohair, since mohair is kind of fuzzy like this, it gets caught on itself really easily. And so it's not that bad to work with, but frogging it is very difficult. And apparently untangling it is also very difficult. So I'm probably just going to have to go ahead and cut off the tangles, but I just haven't gotten around to doing that yet. And then hopefully I will be able to continue on with this. But yeah, I've been working on the Soundwave shawl since September and it's February now. So I am ready to finish this up. As you can see, it's huge, absolutely massive. And I love large fingering weight shawls. I just think they're so pretty. They're so light, so airy. And you can tell already, I still have like 4 more rows to go on this, but you can see it has a lot of coverage on the arms. You know, some shawls, especially triangle shawls, you're not going to get that much coverage on your arms just because of how the triangle shawl is sloped, but that's not the case with this one. So yeah, I really like it and I hope that I'm able to finish it soon, but I've just got to untangle this mohair. Goodness. And now it's getting caught in my hair. Y'all, the yarn is caught in my hair. Okay, I think I got it. Struggling over here. I love and hate mohair. I have a colorwork sweater on permanent timeout because of the mohair tangles. Oh no. Oh no, those mohair tangles are so awful. You're just gonna have to cut it. Like, I don't think that untangling mohair is possible. I'm sure it is if you have enough patience, but I do not. So I'm just going to cut mine because I do not have time. But yeah, I hope that you're able to figure that out soon. That sounds like that would be really pretty. Like, mohair is absolutely beautiful. Wait, I just put the shawl away, but let me pull it back out to show y'all. Mohair is gorgeous. Like, okay, that is a very bad angle. Look at how that is working up, if I can get the camera to focus. It's just so light and fluffy, and it really adds a lot to whatever you're working on, especially if you're holding it double with a different yarn. It really kind of gives like this halo effect. It's gorgeous. But it is a pain to frog. It's a pain to untangle. And it's like, why can't we just have nice things? Like, why does this have to be so difficult? You know? So I hope that you're able to figure out the sweater, Lauren, because I'm right there with you. Mohair tangles will really kind of put a pause on your project. Absolutely. All right, so my next whip is my traveling knit afghan from 2020. So if you don't know, Lion Brand Yarn and Two of Wands last year in 2020 hosted two different make-alongs, one for crochet and one for knit, and they were called the traveling Afghans. So the traveling crochet Afghan and the traveling knit Afghan. I decided to try to learn how to knit last year, and I thought that the traveling knit Afghan would be a really good project to get started with that. So the traveling knit Afghan has 24 squares. They're each 10 inches by 10 inches. And the whole premise of the make along was every 2 weeks, the blanket would get sent to a new designer. They would design and make and attach their square to the blanket. And then they would send the blanket on to the next designer, and it would go on and on like that until you had a completed blanket. So this make along ran like for the entirety of 2020. And yeah, all of that to say is that this was a very large undertaking, and I'm tired. So the square that I was currently working on is I think this is square number 10 by Whistle and Wool. Let's see if we can get a texture shot in here. One day my camera will focus, but that day is not today. I know sometimes, I think it's like picking up on my face. So maybe if I look down, it'll focus. No, but hopefully you get the gist. So I was working on this square live on Wednesday over on my Instagram. If you don't know, I do weeknight crochet with me's or make with me's over on my Instagram on Instagram Live. It's DREA'S_hooked. It's linked down below. But anyway, I was working on this on the live and I messed up, and I've been feeling kind of ambivalent towards this project for a while now. It's not really something that I've been wanting to work on. It's not something that I've been excited to work on. And I'm kind of at a phase in my life and in my maker journey where I'm like, I don't have time to make things that I'm not excited about and things that don't bring me joy. So we'll talk a little later about another whip that I frogged, but I have decided that we're going to wrap the traveling knit Afghan up a lot early. So I currently have 7 squares completed. This would have been the 8th. And I meant to bring those squares over here, but I didn't. So I'll show them in the next episode. So since each square is 10 inches by 10 inches, and honestly, some of them are larger than that because I've been using various yarns from my stash and I haven't checked gauge. So some of them are more like 12 by 12 inches. So 7 squares completed. Some folks that were in my live on Wednesday had the idea that I could use 6 of those 7 squares, seam them together, and have like a cute little pet blanket or maybe a baby blanket. So I don't know anybody who's expecting right now, but my in-laws have a kitty and a dog that I love very much. So I figured that the blanket could go to one of them. So that is how we are wrapping up the traveling knit Afghan without discounting all of the work that I've already done on it. I guess I'll kind of have to go with the flow because I'm still a little hesitant. I'm not sure if just using the 6 squares will be large enough. So maybe I'll end up using the 7th one and then finishing this one up as the 8th one. We'll just have to see how that goes. But yeah, I'm not going to make all 24 squares because it's time to move on. I think I started the blanket in July, and yeah, it was a large undertaking, maybe a little too large for a very first knit project, but you know, lessons learned. And I did learn a lot from this project. It's just not serving the purpose that I need for it to serve right now. So we're going to move on. It's a little less, I guess, upsetting or devastating as completely frogging the project because I do have some squares complete and we still are going to get a finished object out of it. It's just not going to be what I originally set out to do, what the original intent of the project was, and that is totally okay with me. So that is the update on the traveling knit Afghan. Oh, and by the way, I've been using just random blue yarn from my stash. So that's kind of it was also meant to be a stash buster project, which means that I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of that yarn. Okay, I'll deal with that later. All right, next whip, which isn't really a whip anymore because I frogged it. This is something else that happened on my live this week. I am missing, here we go. So I had been working on the lattice lace dress by Stephanie Aaron, but I decided to frog it. So here is the yarn. I hadn't gotten too far into the dress. I had like just, it's worked in a circular yoke top down. So I had just split the yoke and then maybe worked an inch or two beyond that on the body. So I really didn't get that far. And I was using Lion brand Kobu yarn. So I have this and then like 7 or 8 more skeins of it. So I'm probably going to end up making a garment out of the yarn, but I haven't decided what pattern I'm going to use. So I know a few folks have made some recommendations to me. So if you have any favorite garment patterns that use DK weight yarn and would especially work for Kobu, Kobu is a 50-50 cotton bamboo blend. Definitely be sure to comment them down below. I am very interested to see what y'all think. But yeah, just wanted to update y'all that I did indeed go ahead and frog the lattice lace dress. Blue hats for hat not hate. Yeah, you know, that's a pretty good idea. I've been wanting to get involved with hat not hate for a while, so that's definitely something worth considering. So hat not hate is a anti-bullying campaign. So you make blue hats and I think they distribute them at schools. And so I think that that's a very good cause. And I do have a lot of blue yarn. So yeah, I think that's definitely a good idea. Alrighty, let's see. Just moving right along here. All right, so upcoming whips. So if you follow me on Instagrams, you probably saw in my stories that earlier this week, I asked for suggestions on different knit hats because one of my goals for this year is to improve my knitting skills. And one of the skills that I wanted to learn how to do was knit in the round. So I figured that I'm eventually going to knit a pair of socks. I already have the yarn for it, but I figured that a good kind of intermediate step before I jump into like trying to knit with a fingering weight yarn is to knit a hat in the round. So I asked for suggestions on knit hats. I specifically specify that I didn't want the hat to be too feminine because I'm planning on knitting this hat as a gift for my dad. I crocheted my dad a couple of hats for Christmas 2019 and he really liked them. He wears them all the time. So I figured I would go ahead and add to his collection and knit him a hat or two. So one of the suggestions that I got that I ultimately ended up choosing was the classic beanie by Woolly Worm Head. There we go. So this is a free pattern on her blog, and it's basically a hat with 2x2 ribbing. So when I decided that I wanted to knit a hat, I was really envisioning something that would just have a little bit of ribbing on the brim and then the rest of it would be stockinette because I really wanted the experience of being able to, words are hard. I completely lost my train of thought. I really wanted the experience of being able to knit stockinette in the round. So I know a lot of people who watch this don't necessarily knit. When you knit stockinette flat, you have to do one row of knit stitch and then one row of purl stitch back and forth to get the effect. But when you are knitting in the round, since you're not flipping your work, you can just do knit all the way around. And that is a lot easier and a lot quicker because purling is the devil, basically. So I really kind of wanted a hat that had some ribbing and then some stockinette. But knowing my dad, knowing my style, knowing his style rather, I knew that he would prefer to have a hat with ribbing on it. Um, and I think that's part of the reason why I don't gift knit or gift crochet that much is because I want to make what I want to make. And when you're making things for other people, you have to take into account um, what they would like, what their style is, what their preferences are, even down to like what colors they would like. And that's always been kind of difficult for me, but I'm trying my best. So all that to say is, even though I didn't want to do a 2x2 ribbon beanie, I knew that that was what my dad would prefer. And so that's what we're going with. Check out Ross from Smells Like Yarn here on YouTube. He has a pattern called the Ross hat. Easy knit in the round. Okay, cool. I think I will check that out. Were you the one who suggested that in my stories? Because I think that I did look that one up. So yeah, I went ahead and made a gauge swatch for the hat. And like I actually hit gauge on the first try, which literally never happens to me in crochet. So that's very exciting. And I forgot to talk about the yarn that I'm using. Hot mess. So the yarn that I'm using is Lion Brand Vanish Choice. And this colorway is called Silver Heather. So I actually really like the way that this works up. Since it's heathered, it kind of has a little bit more dimension to it. So yeah, it's very nice. And this isn't yarn that I bought. This is yarn that was gifted to me. And it's been sitting, I have about a skein and a half of this. And it's just been sitting in my stash for a couple of years. And I had no idea what to do with it. And so I'll be using it for this hat because, you know, gray is a nice neutral color. It goes with a lot of things. So I think my dad will like it. And I'm still going to have some yarn left over since the hat only uses about 100 grams. But, you know, at least some of it will be put to a good use. No, not me, but it's pretty popular and easy for new knitters. Oh, okay. Because, yeah, I think somebody did recommend the Ross hat in my stories. And so I did look it up. And I don't remember why I didn't go with that one, but it's good that it comes so highly recommended. So something about this gauge swatch is I did a method where it's technically knit in the round, but you kind of just carry the yarn in the back so that it saves time. So instead of having all of this be knit, it's just the carried yarn. And so I went ahead and did that, and it worked out pretty quickly. So I met gauge on the first try, which literally never happens. So that was very exciting. So I currently have a off-brand circular knitting needle set. I want to say the cord is 24 inches, but that could be completely incorrect. I'm just going based on what I know 24 inches to be. So it's in that weird in-between space. I tried to start the hat yesterday, but the cord was too long to be able to knit the hat comfortably in the round. And then it was too short to be able to do the magic loop method comfortably. So I am in the market for a set of interchangeable knitting needle sets. If you have recommendations for that, definitely let me know. I've heard good things about Chigu, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, like the Chigu set and the Knit Pick set. Those are the two that I've been hearing a lot about. But if there is another brand for interchangeable knitting needle sets that you know of, definitely be sure to let me know. So yeah, I can't really do too much with the hat until I get those interchangeable knitting needle sets, but it is what it is. At least I got the gauge swatch done. At least I have a pattern picked out. At least I know what yarn I'm using. So we've got half the battle. I just need the tools to be able to make it. I highly recommend 16-inch circular needles for hats. Yeah, and I think that the pattern that I'm using said to use 16-inch circulars. So that's why I think that the ones that I have now are 24, because it was just a little too long to be able to knit that hat in the round. Love Chigu. Okay, so we have another supporter of Chigu interchangeable needle sets. Honestly, I think that's probably what I'll go with. I kind of like the red cord. I don't know why, it just kind of speaks to me a little bit. But yeah, definitely open to other suggestions as well. All right, so that's it on the classic beanie. So next I wanted to talk about some acquisitions. I wouldn't say that I'm on like an official, okay, let me grab this and then I'll talk. Okay. So I wouldn't say that I'm on a official yarn diet, but one of my goals for 2021 was to stash bust. And stash busting is a little bit easier when you're not constantly bringing new things in. And so I've been trying to be a little careful, a little bit more judicious and picky about how much yarn I buy and when I buy yarn, etc. But I have had a couple of things come in since the last podcast that I wanted to show y'all. That cord makes all the difference. Yeah, I've heard really good things about the Chigu cord, especially like if you're someone who uses Magic Loop. I've heard that it comes in handy. I used Kobu for the Daybreak Tee. It's a free pattern. Okay, the Daybreak Tee. I'm going to have to check that out. Yeah, the good thing about Kobu is that since it's a cotton bamboo blend, it's very breathable. And so it's really good for like the spring and summer months. Or if you're like me and you live in a warmer climate where it's pretty mild all year, it makes a little bit more sense to wear than wool. So the Daybreak Tee. Okay, I'm going to have to remember that. And it's good that it's free too. So the first thing that I got was the Fiber and Color February 2021 Black Cinema Minis thing. So Fiber and Color is ran by Darcy Does It on Instagram. I have her information and all the information for the yarn dyers that I'm going to talk about down in the description below if you want to check it out. But Darcy Does It started the Fiber and Color thing curation, and it's basically each month features a different yarn dyer or yarn dyers that are members of the BIPOC community. That's Black, Indigenous, and people of color. So for February, since it's Black History Month, she decided to do a Fiber and Color Black Cinema thing. So there were 3 different yarn dyers, Fully Spun, Wild Star Fibers, and the Naughty Buffalo. And they each created several different colorways based on different Black movies. So Fully Spun had February 1st through 12th, and her colorways were inspired by How Stella Got a Groove Back. Wild Star Fibers had February 13th through 19th, and her colorways were inspired by BAP's Black American Princesses. And then February 20th through 28th went to the Naughty Buffalo, and her colorways were inspired by the movie Get Out. So it was basically like an advent, but in February. So there were 28 20-gram mini skeins, and yeah, 1 for each day. So I've, for the most part, been keeping up with opening them each day. I haven't really been sharing them on like social media or anything because I've just been tired. So I wanted to go ahead and share them here on the podcast with y'all. So seeing how today is February 27th, I've opened all but one of these. So it's going to take a little while to go through all of these, but I'm going to try to go as fast as I can. And if you are here with me live and there's a certain colorway that you want to see again, definitely let me know. And I know some, if not all of these dyers are selling full skeins of these colorways in their shops. So again, I have their shops linked in the description below if you want to check them out. Definitely encourage y'all to check them out and consider them for future yarn purchases. What a great idea for a collection, right? I thought it was such a good idea. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, I know I'm supposed to be stash busting, but I kind of need this though. And so I'm really glad that I got it. As you'll see, these colorways are absolutely stunning. So I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with them, but I'm sure I'll find something to do with them. All right. So starting with February 1st, where is February 1st? February 1st through 12th, like I said, that is the yarn dyer Fully Spun, and those colorways are inspired by the movie How Stella Got Her Groove Back. So another thing is that each of these dyers used different bases. They're all soft yarns, but they're different bases, so I'm going to go over that as well. So Fully Spun's yarns are on 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. So February 1st colorway was called Sponsored. So this is Sponsored. February 2nd is Spa Day. Absolutely gorgeous, variegated and speckled. February 3rd, definitely one of my favorites, is called Sunshine. February 4th, I got caught on the sticker. February 4th is called When We Met. February 5th is called Best Friend. I thought I was organized, but I'm really not. February 6th is called Start Packin'. Oh, was that the 9th? I had it upside down. Okay, that was the 9th. All right, let's just keep that up for now. Sorry, y'all. I am a mess. Okay, here's the 6th. February 6th is called August 6th. Beautiful tonal green here. February 7th. Okay, one second. I think I've got to take out the ones that I already did because I'm getting confused. Please hold. Technical difficulties. Okay, here's February 7th. It's called What You Waiting For. You can see the blue on the bottom. February 8th is called Call 1-800-JAMAICA. Okay, the sticker got stuck here. And then back to February 9th, Start Packin'. February 10th, Perfect Weather. This is also one of my favorites. February 11th, Rum Punch. Ooh, this one's pretty too. See, I have the Knitter's Pride interchangeable set, the zings. Okay, Knitter's Pride. I've heard good things about Knitter's Pride as well. Not so much their knitting needle, or rather, I haven't heard anything about their knitting needles, but I know a lot of people recommend their Tunisian crochet hook set. So I'll definitely check out Knitter's Pride as well for interchangeable knitting needles. All right, and then number 12, the last one from Fully Spun, is called Make It Platinum. So pretty. So pretty. All right, so those were all the colorways for how Stella got her groove back from the Yarn Dyer Fully Spun. So now we're moving into Wild Star Fibers, and her sock base is 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. And can I just say, you can definitely tell the difference. This one's a lot softer than the other one. Not that the 75-25 isn't soft, but the 18-15 is very soft. So huge fan of this base. So February 13th, oh, by the way, these colorways are inspired by Babs, the movie Babs. Okay. How do we delete comments? Because that is very creepy. One second, y'all. Alrighty. Sorry if any of y'all saw that. A very interesting comment. Yeah, I will take it as, since the channel is growing a little bit, that means some people who aren't necessarily interested in my content like to jump in and make some very unrelated, explicit comments. So I will just take it as a sign of growth. But yeah, I'm sorry if any of y'all saw that. It was very, very not nice. Anyway, so February 13th through 19th, Wild Star Fibers inspired by Babs. So on an 85-15 base. So February 13th was called It's Ladies Night. Very pretty. February 14th is called Pool Day. Hi, Luke. How are you doing? I'm asking how he's doing. He's sitting, Luke is my fiance, by the way, and he is sitting literally 10 feet away from me. So I'm kind of trolling him a little bit. So yeah, this is February 14th, Pool Day. February 15th, Welcome to Beverly Hills. Super pretty. February 16th, Bat Painting. Also love this one. Oops. February 17th is called Daydreaming. February 18th is called Forgiveness, right up my alley with the purple. February 19th is called Lilies, like the flower. February 20th. Okay. So that was the end of Wild Star Fibers. It kind of snuck up on me a little bit. So now February 20th through 28th is by the dyer The Naughty Buffalo, based on the movie Get Out. And her base is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. So we have 75-25, 85-15, and 80-20. And I know in the sock knitting community, a lot of folks have preferences on what kind of sock base they prefer. I don't really know enough about sock bases. I haven't really worked with any of these to be able to make that kind of judgment. But if you are a sock knitter and you have a preference, let me know what you prefer. 75-25, 80-20, or 85-15. Anyway, so February 20th is called Teacup Hypnotist. Teacup Hypnotist. It's hypnotist, isn't it? I think it's hypnotist. Hypnotist. I'm killing it. We're doing great over here. February 21st is somewhere. Yes. And my yarn is getting tangled. Cool. So February 21st is Bad Omen. February 22nd is, no, that's the 25th. Flip that back. February 22nd is Brother Watch Your Back. February 23rd is called The Suburbs. February 24th is called Rose, like the flower. This is a very pretty pink. Not a huge pink person, but this is gorgeous. February 25th is called The Sunken Place. And I have to say, this is the most saturated black hand-dyed yarn I've ever seen. Absolutely stunning. February 26th is called The Woods. Very nice tonal green. And then the last one that I've opened, February 27th, that's today, is called The Transition Phase. Very pretty neutral. And so obviously I haven't opened February 28th yet, but it is called No, 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 No. 5 no's. So I'm very curious to see how this one looks, and I will share it on the next podcast. But yeah, I have really enjoyed getting to open these yarns every day. It's been a lot of fun. And yeah, I've just got to decide what to do with them now. So please hold while I try to get a little bit organized over here. Oops, one of these fell out of the bag, but I'm going to throw the bags away anyway, so. Alrighty. And so, believe it or not, I actually do have more yarn to show you. I'm doing really well on this stash busting journey. Clearly. So the next yarns that I have to show you are from Sorella Yarn. So actually you can't see the mini. So these are both their classic sock base, which is 100% superwash merino. So this colorway is called Tea Time, and this variegated colorway is called Mrs. Patmore's Kitchen. I don't know what the colorway of this mini is called, and they're packaged together because this is their sock set that comes with a full skein and a mini. I'm not going to be using this for socks. I just really needed a coordinating mini to go with this. So let me hold up all three together. Very gorgeous. You can see that the Tea Time and the Mrs. Patmore's Kitchen share a lot of the same colors. So I think that they'll go together pretty well. And then the mini will be a nice contrast. So when I bought these yarns on January 1st, and I was intending to make a shawl out of them, and I had a pattern picked out and everything. I'm not completely sure if I'm still going to use that pattern. Time will tell, but that was the original intent. Downtown Abbey theme. Yeah, so Sorella Yarn does monthly collections, and they're usually centered around a theme. So yes, all of these colorways were from the Downtown Abbey collection. I cannot talk today. And that collection was in like July or August of 2020. But for January, they did a greatest hits collection where they picked some of their best-selling colorways from each collection. And these were among the best-selling from the Downton Abbey collection. So they made it into the greatest hits, and that was when I was able to grab them. So yeah, whatever I end up using these yarns for, I am very excited to see how these colorways are going to work up because they are very gorgeous. I really like them. Let me get closer and see. The lighting's acting up a little bit on me because it's perceiving the Tea Time base is white, and so it's automatically adjusting to that. But yeah, we'll see what I end up using these for. All right, so those are so pretty. Thank you. Yeah, they're so gorgeous. Right up my alley. So I am very excited to work them up and see how they turn out. Okay, let me get some water here. Alrighty. So that concludes the official podcast section of today's podcast. So now I'm going to talk about the giveaway. So this past Wednesday evening, I hit 100 subscribers on this channel, which was very exciting for me. Thank y'all so much for subscribing to my channel. It really means the world to me that y'all are interested in hearing about my projects. And it's definitely a very big milestone, especially for a fiber artist. You know, this is a very niche community. And so I am extremely humbled that 100 of y'all are interested in my content. I just realized I forgot to put my ring back on. So that's cool. I'm still engaged, y'all, I promise. My fiance is so offended. Anyway, so I have been promising a giveaway at 100 subscribers for a while now. Once I hit 50 subscribers a couple months, more than a couple months ago, I decided that I wanted to do a giveaway to celebrate 100 subscribers. So now that we're here, it is time to announce the giveaway. So what I'm giving away is a $50 Etsy gift card. The reason why I'm doing a gift card rather than physical items is I wanted to make sure that the giveaway would be able to be open internationally. I am currently not able to ship outside the United States, but I know that there are some folks who live outside of the United States that watch me and support the channel, and I wanted to make sure that those folks were still able to be included. So we are doing a $50 Etsy gift card so that the giveaway can be open internationally. So all you have to do to enter is make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and that you comment on the video down below to tell me an item on your craft wish list. So whether that's yarn or like a new crochet hook set or a new knitting needle set, like I said, I'm really wanting to get a set of interchangeable knitting needles. So if I was entering the giveaway, I would say I want an interchangeable knitting needle set. So I'm just curious to see what's on everybody's wish list. And so that is all you have to do all you have to comment rather to enter. We're keeping this very simple. We're not going to do any bonus entries or anything like that. So it'll be one entry per person. Just keep things simple because this is my first giveaway that I'm doing here on YouTube. So the giveaway will be open from February 27th, which is today, through March 6th, which is next Saturday. So you will have 1 week to enter the giveaway. And on March 6th, I'll randomly pick a winner based on the comments, and I will reply to your comment letting you know that you won the giveaway. So definitely make sure that you're checking back. I usually get notifications when people reply to my comments on YouTube. I don't know if that's a default setting, but just make sure that you're set up to be notified when I reply to your comment, or make sure that you're coming back to the video and checking your comment to see if I've replied to your comment. Also, if you're here live, make sure that you are commenting below the video and not like in the live chat. Just because I think the live chat saves, but I'm not sure. So, and I want to have everything in the same place anyway. So make sure that you comment down below the video. So yeah, March 6th, picking a winner. You will, if you win, you will have 1 week to claim the prize. When I reply to your comment, I'm just going to ask you to email me with the email address that you want the gift card to be sent to. And yeah, we'll take care of that. And if you don't claim your prize by March 13th, then I will go ahead and select another winner. So you will have 1 week to claim your prize. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. I chose Etsy because you can get a variety of different things on Etsy. You can get crochet patterns, knitting patterns, yarn, like basically anything. So I wanted to make sure that I'd be able to cater to a variety of interests and keep the giveaway open internationally. So I really hope that y'all will enter the giveaway and that you will find good use from the Etsy gift card. So yeah, those are the details for the giveaway. So yeah, we're starting to wrap up the podcast here. A few announcements. So I've decided that instead of doing podcasts every other week, I'm going to switch to doing them on the last Saturday of every month. 2021, I've kind of hit the ground running. It's just been very busy and it's been a little difficult for me to keep up with the bi-weekly podcast schedule. Episode 10 of the podcast was on January 30th, and we're just now having episode 11 on February 27th. So it's been a month anyway. So I've just decided that I'm going to switch to doing the podcast once a month for now. So episode 12 of the podcast will be on March 27th, unless something happens. But I will still be posting videos or like doing lives rather on the off Saturdays. I definitely want to do some make with me's over on YouTube because I know not everybody has Instagram or wants to use Instagram. So I want to make sure that I'm getting some of those over here as well. And I've also been trying to get some other types of videos together. So yeah, definitely if you have any ideas for any videos that you would like to see, definitely let me know. I'm always open to suggestions, and I want to make sure that I'm making content that y'all are actually interested in and that y'all are actually going to watch. So always open to, I'm talking a little too quickly here. Let me slow down a little bit. I'm always open to suggestions. So just let me know. So yeah, we tentatively have a make with me planned over here on YouTube for next Saturday, March 6th. It'll be the same time as the podcast, which is 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I have to do a slightly different setup for YouTube than I do over on Instagram, just because like the camera is configured differently. Over on Instagram, you're in portrait mode. Here on YouTube, you do your videos in landscape. So I do still have to figure that out. But if all goes well with that, then we will be doing a make with me over here on YouTube next Saturday. And at that time, I will announce what we'll do the following Saturday, and we'll just go from there. If you do use Instagram and you do follow me on Instagram, again, that handle is at @DREA'S_hook. I do kind of impromptu make with me's on the weekend. Not the weekends, this is the weekend, on weeknights. And they usually end up happening around 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So definitely keep an eye on my stories if you want to get in on those. They're always a lot of fun. We just hang out and talk. Like I said, last week I ended up frogging a whip and trying to do a little bit of knitting. So those are a lot of fun. So if you're able to make those, definitely keep an eye on my stories to see when those are going to be. And I am hoping to, continue to grow the channel. So liking this video is very helping. Okay. Liking this video is very helpful. And of course, subscribing to the channel. We've been talking a lot about subscribers today, so I won't dwell on that too much. But I will say that our next giveaway is going to happen at 500 subscribers. And so I hope that that's a goal that we can hit fairly soon. So yeah, definitely be sure to enter the giveaway that we earned for 100 subscribers. It's a $50 Etsy gift card, and all you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel and comment below letting me know what is on your craft wish list. All right, so that is it for today. Thank y'all so much for those of y'all who were able to join live, and thank y'all so much if you're watching this a little bit later. I really appreciate the support, and I hope that you enjoyed this. Like I said, episode 12 is going to be on March 27th, and Make With Me is going to be on March 6th. So I will talk to y'all then. Bye.